What is up, everyone? This is Too Slow. Today I'm going to be working on the 2ZZ that we're going to be throwing in the red matrix over there. Yep. So we're going to be working on the 2ZZ that I pulled out from the silver matrix that I bought for, how much did I buy that car for? I bought it for $800. And I already went ahead, and you guys saw in the previous videos, I removed the 2ZZ and the C60 that was in that silver matrix, and we confirmed that the engine for sure works. This engine has 188,000 miles, and the mileage on the red matrix is about the same thing. So I kind of told myself, you know what, it makes sense to just throw the engine that has the same amount of mileage inside the red matrix. So that's what we're going to end up doing today. I'm going to go ahead and basically remove the timing chain cover gasket to get everything resealed. That's today's plan. I'm going to go ahead and remove the alternator, the water pump, or the water pump. Well, yeah, the water pump actually. The AC compressor, and just remove all the accessories, get the cover off. And I really don't want to go through this step by step because I already have a really good video on my YouTube channel. I'll go ahead and put the link down in the description below. It's an in-depth tour of the 2ZZ on how I basically remove everything and just reseal it. So this isn't the video for that. This is more for my records, I guess, so that the new owner, when I get ready to sell the red matrix, knows that I did all this to said vehicle. And I don't want them to like second guess and say like, did you really do that? Did you really not? Because it's really good to document everything, so that way future sales are a lot easier to do. But enough chit-chatting. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the bolts for the timing chain cover gasket, or the timing chain cover, but I already went ahead and removed the bolts for the valve cover, and I'm actually really happy. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. So there you have it. Pretty good looking 2ZZ. I'm actually happy that this 2ZZ is really clean. I already went ahead and took off the lift bolts. It's always the exhaust side that's always intact. The exhaust side one's not like as bad as the intake one. We're about to take off the intake one. Look at this intake one. You see that? Sorry for the crusty hand, but yeah, it's pretty worn out. So it's a good thing they're not broken. It's one less extra step to have to worry about. But as I said before, usually it's the 2000 and 2002 model year 2ZZs that have the old style lift bolts and are broken majority of the time. I have seen some that aren't broken. Usually those are the ones that people don't hit lift as much, but these updated ones are the best ones because they have the updated lift bolts. So right now I'm just gonna go ahead and put 2 new lift bolts just so that I have peace of mind that they're in there and I don't want to forget and yada yada. But by the next footage you guys will see, the whole cover is going to be already removed, and we're going to go ahead and clean it up. I'm going to show you guys what I use to clean my covers up really nice. I've already showed it in the videos multiple times. It is Purple Power. Purple Power is really strong, very strong, to the point that you don't want to get it on chrome. You get it on chrome, the finish is going to go bad. I learned this the hard way and sprayed my engine cold air intake on my Corolla XRS, and now it's not shiny no more like how it used to, but it's all good. I'm probably gonna end up painting it some different colors, so that's gonna be a future video for another day. But for now, let's go ahead and tackle this. So next clip you guys will see will be all removed, and let's go from there. So I don't know if this was a later redesign or later change, but 2ZZ have plastic propellers for the water pump, and I was told that the plastic ones are better for higher RPM, And this one's a metal one, as you guys can see. But if I come down here, it says Toyota on it. Aizen, I don't know if that's how you pronounce this, but this is OEM. So I don't know if this was changed like at the dealership or something under warranty and they put the wrong one, but this is the wrong water pump for the 2ZZ engine. I wish I had one on me right now, but I'll go ahead and put a picture of which one is the right one. So we're gonna go ahead and discard this water pump and get the correct one. So I have never ever seen this. This is the timing chain tensioner. Can you tell me what do you see that's wrong? You see it's unlocked, right? That's unlocked. And it's not all the way out. This plunger is supposed to be at least a bit more out. And look, I'm pushing down on it and it's supposed to come out and it's not. So this timing chain tensioner is seized. And the fact that this 2ZZ was still working is beyond me. So that means that there was chain slack on this chain as it was going. And to me, it sounded pretty good. When I had it on, it sounded good. And I'm very, very glad I ended up buying another one. So we have a new one on the way. I do have the part numbers for that on the video. But this is just a reminder, guys. This engine had 188,000 miles and the tensioner seized up. This is seized. This, I'm not playing, guys. Like when you apply pressure to it down, it's supposed to shoot back up. And you can see it's unlocked. Like this is ridiculous that people just don't take care of this. And I'm surprised this engine is this clean. Like look at that valve cover. There's no gunk buildup. So remember, guys, please change out your timing chain tensioners every now and then. Like at least 100, maybe every 150,000 miles or something like that, yo. Like this is ridiculous, man. But I'm glad I caught it. We're gonna toss this away, and now you can see I got majority of the stuff removed. So I'm gonna remove the crank pulley, and then we're gonna use some purple power, spray it down a bit, maybe clean it up a bit, and then we're gonna get the pressure washer and just pressure wash this. So let's go ahead and do that. So I already went ahead and cleaned up the whole timing chain cover. I take it off. You can see I did the inside as well. Gonna go ahead and wash this up with some degreaser just to make it look a little bit cleaner. And here's the old gasket. It's pretty bad. I mean, you can see right there. See, it broke. So this is the #1 reason for timing chain cover leaks on the 2ZZ GE engine. And it's a pretty common fault, pretty common issue. But we're gonna go ahead and remove the old gasket for the water pump, the crank seal. I'll clean up all the old RTV, and then we're gonna go ahead and install new gaskets, freshen up this 2ZZ a bit. There's already a parts video for that. I don't have to explain this all over again, but when I come back, this thing's gonna be cleaned with new gaskets, ready to be thrown back on. So you can see it's a lot cleaner now. We got an RTV right here, and then on the top right there, and right there. So now I got the water pump inside one, the timing chain cover gasket, and the crank seal already installed. So before this dries up, we're gonna go ahead and reinstall it. Resealed. Now we're gonna put all the screws before it dries out, and let's go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and install a new timing chain tensioner, and we're gonna lube it up a little bit, put some oil in here. So timing chain tensioner is already installed. We're gonna go ahead and release the plunger, but we gotta rotate the crank just a tiny bit counter so that it pushes this tensioner in, and then once we rotate it clockwise, it'll start plunging it out. So we're gonna get our 19, and I'm gonna try and get this on video, but you're gonna hear the click. So if we go back, timing mark right there, timing mark right there, and then we're on top dead center right there. So we're gonna go rotate it a couple of times. So I went ahead and removed the valve cover gasket, and now I'm removing the spark plug tube seals. These are the old ones, and I have brand new ones right here. So brand new, sorry about the dirty hand. And then I have the valve cover gasket over here. That's the part number. So we're gonna go ahead and install that and go finish up the 2ZZ. Before I end today's video, I'm gonna go ahead and put the valve cover back on. It's already pretty late. Put RTV right there and right there. Cleaned up the mating surface. Now we're just gonna throw on the valve cover and call it a day. So that's gonna be it for today. I already went ahead and got all the valve cover bolts torqued down. Still need to put spark plugs in there and put our TV where it's supposed to go. We got timing chain cover reseal, valve cover reseal. Still gotta get a water pump, and went ahead and installed the bell tensioner, cleaned it up. This thing's gonna be really clean, yo. So the person that's gonna own this after me is gonna have a piece of my work, and I take pride in what I do. So yeah, whoever buys this is gonna be one lucky person. So that's gonna be it for today. So it's another day, and I'm gonna go ahead and install a thermostat just like how I did with the 1ZZ. It is good practice to be replacing crucial cooling component systems like this. This is incredibly cheap at like $25, somewhere around there. Make sure to get an OEM Toyota one, save the headaches, get an OEM one. And I also got the OEM thermostat gasket. Gonna go ahead and put the part numbers for those on the description down below. And right here's our thermostat behind the thermostat housing. I already went ahead and took off the two 10mm nuts, got that off, and here's our old thermostat. It's a little stuck in there, so I'm gonna have to force its way out. Actually, it doesn't even look that bad, but as I said, it's good practice to just replace it. Oof. So upon further inspection, they are completely different. Very different design. This one has the Toyota logo, the new one. This one doesn't, so might just be aftermarket, who knows. But as I said, good thing I'm replacing it. I don't want to deal with one that doesn't work, so let's go ahead and replace it. Make sure the dot is at the very top, or the little peephole, and then once that's there, we're gonna go ahead and put our thermostat housing. Sorry for the not pointing the camera at the correct angle. Got that replaced. Get that sorted through. Really easy to change the thermostat, nothing too hard. Now we're just gonna tighten it, and then we're gonna be installing brand new spark plugs because the ones that were in there were a little crusty. I got some Iridium IX, brand new. If you guys want to know what the part number is, it is, there you go, 3764. Got these off Rock Auto for about $4 each. And Rock Auto doesn't sell bad ones, they sell good ones, and there's a lot of fake counterfeit NGK spark plugs out there, so I highly suggest you get them off Rock Auto. That's like the last place you'll probably get counterfeit spark plugs. And there is a really big thing about counterfeit spark plugs out there. These tips will break and they will get stuck inside the cylinder wall, and then you're pretty much fucked. So just do yourself a huge favor and just get them off Rock Auto. So I already replaced the spark plugs and I already put the coil packs on. Made sure to only use Toyota Denso ones. Toyota Denso. Put the bolts back on, and this 2ZZ is just about ready to go be put back in. But next thing what I'm gonna do, most likely off camera, is I'm gonna go ahead and remove the flywheel and go get it resurfaced and go from there. And we'll get it resurfaced, and then we're gonna change the rear main seal to a good one and get the engine installed. But until then, that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Thank you guys for watching. So we're gonna go ahead and install the water pump here, and this is the one I took off from this 2ZZ, and you can see it has a metal propeller, and this is the incorrect one. This one is not designed to spin at over almost 8,500 RPM, 9,000 RPM. This one's the correct one. This is the one that's designed to spin up really fast. And you can see this is a Toyota. Oh, and if you guys need the part number, this is the part number. So I went ahead and cleaned up the mating surface of the exhaust manifold. And we're gonna go ahead and install another exhaust manifold. I don't know if you guys saw the previous video where I had trouble with the stock one. Well, here is one from Matrix XRS that I got from the Silver Matrix. Threads on this one are still good. Boom, boom. Gonna go ahead and use new hardware for that. We got new hardware right here. We're gonna go ahead and use a wire brush to clean up the threads, and then we're gonna go ahead and install the exhaust manifold gasket, which is right here. That's the part number. Boom, it's gonna go on. We already have the exhaust manifold bracket and the carrier bearing bracket gonna go on the 2ZZ because it's a lot easier to drop in to put this with the engine attached to the vehicle when you're dropping it in the engine bay. So I went ahead and removed the flywheel off the 2ZZ, and we're going to go ahead and replace the rear main seal. It is very important that you replace this when you have the transmission separated from the engine. And here's the part number if you guys are interested in getting it. So I'm going to go ahead and replace it. You can pick up this tool from Harbor Freight. Thank you, Clayton, for getting it for me. And you just pretty much just stab it and just pull it out. And reuse the old gasket to kind of put it on top of this one and hammer it in slowly until it's even with the engine block. So that's one gasket we're also going to change. And then just for shits and giggles, I'm going to go ahead and replace the Pcv valve. So I have the new one right here. You don't have to, but it's cheap and kind of putting new things on this whole engine, so I might as well just do it. And there's the part number for that. Really simple. Just use a 19mm. I'm gonna go ahead and take off the old one and replace it, and I'll get back to you guys right now. And then replace them. So I already replaced both of them. So we're gonna go ahead and install the flywheel on the 2ZZ. This is the original flywheel. This is the resurfaced one. You can see the huge difference. This one's a lot shinier. This one's very, very dark and pitted. This one's like that because it has a lot of heat spots. If we check it out, that's a lot of heat spots. And you can see right there where the rivet was rubbing on the flywheel. I threw it away already, but the clutch was already down to like rivets. And you can see the rivet right there grinding on the flywheel. So you can either get a resurfaced pressure flywheel, which is what I did. Got a resurfaced flywheel. You get a lightweight flywheel. You get a replacement OE1, or you could just get a performance one, I guess I would say. Fidanza, MWR, ACT. There's a lot of companies out there. I have a Fidanza on my Corolla XRS, but because this is going to be more of a daily car, we're just going to go ahead and use an OEM one. So we're going to go ahead and install so what I did with these were I got the wire brush and I cleaned them all up. We're going to use thread locker, put them on, and that should do the trick. I've done that on my Corolla XRS and it was fine for 30,000 miles. After I ended up replacing the clutch again on that car, I ended up using ARP bolts. I think that's what they're called. And if it was fine for 30,000 miles, I'm pretty sure it would have went for more. So we're gonna go ahead and reuse these, but we have to use thread locker. I have some right here. I'm gonna go ahead and use that. And we're gonna torque the bolts to 80 pound-feet. So I already went ahead and put them on with a little bit of red Loctite, and we're gonna torque them down to 70 pound-feet. So last thing before I go take a shower, I'm gonna go ahead and install the clutch kit. This is an Exedy OE style KTY14. I've used this on a Phantom Gray Corolla XRS that I sold to my good friend Hector, and it was a smooth, buttery clutch. Loved it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and reuse this. It is about $100 on Rock Auto, and we already torqued the flywheel bolts in a crisscross motion at 70 pound-feet and use red Loctite. So now it's time to go ahead and install the clutch and the pressure plate. Make sure the sides that the springs are tucked in, or actually better yet, I'll just pull it out. So make sure this side is the side that's out towards, I guess, outside of the engine. So that's gonna go like this, and we're gonna put our clutch on there.